Guess who got brands talking? Brandlive.co.za.
Welcome to it for the very first time on Brand Live Radio. It is Film Chats with D. Each week on Thursdays from 2 to 2:30, I'll be coming to you just giving you some film and television advice on how you can get into the industry if you want to, or if you're just interested in that kind of thing. Happy Women's Day to all the women out there. We just want to say we salute you, we celebrate you, and we love you. Talking about a woman, a beautiful one I might add, I've got Dinan Chabeling in the studio for the first time.
Yo.
What's up?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, welcome to Brand Live Radio.
Lovely. I'm glad I'm the first one.
Yeah.
So I'm officially
My
like,
first guest.
yes, I've
Yes.
broken the, okay,
Guest
that
record
other thing.
or something like that. Let's start talking. You did your first film in
Yeah.
2003, Beat the Drum.
Yeah.
And you were 11 years old.
I was actually younger.
How old were you?
I was 9 when we shot Beat the Drum.
9.
Yeah, it only came out to cinemas in South Africa when I was about 11, 12.
Oh, so it came out.
Yeah.
So let's talk about being 9 years old and being on a set for the very first time.
Look, I've been working since I was 7 years old. So for me, I think the only big part about it was the fact that it was a film set and it was an international film set at that. So we had internationals, Americans, an
Yeah.
American crew, partly American crew, partly South African crew. And it was fun, man. I mean, of course, it was nerve-wracking because I mean, that movie, Nirnaliba Osintati, there were a couple of big names in that movie. Junior Singo was in it. Ntate Owen Sejake, you know, so working with people who already have such great established careers and being a kid at that, it was interesting, but you always have to live to the occasion, you know. Once you're working with artists who know what they're doing, you also just need to step up your game.
Sure.
Yeah.
And at 9 years old, how were you able to differentiate between, okay, I'm now a child every day, I play or whatever,
Yeah.
and I'm now on set? Like, how were you able to do that at
Look-
such a young age? Because I know 9-year-olds.
Yeah, I think I was lucky. The agency that I belonged to at the time, when we registered with our agent, she had a course, like a 6 weeks course, where she was just giving everybody the basis of the industry, teaching everybody film and set etiquette, you know. So when you get to set, what you need to do, what you must be prepared for, and also just how to conduct yourself, you know, because yes, you might be a kid, but you're working with professionals
Yeah.
who are not here to come and indulge you in your childness. They're here to work, and they're working on a budget, and they're working on time constraints. So everybody needs to be on set, ready and prepared, and do what they're getting paid to do, you know.
Yeah.
So I was lucky. I mean, I was with my mom on that set because we're shooting in Drakensberg. I think we shot for about two weeks. I was there in 2 weeks. Yeah, I think they were there a bit longer, but my character was there for a bit. So I was there for 2 weeks. I had my mom there, and I also had a chauffeur that they had gotten. So
At 9 years old, a chauffeur.
yeah, no, they
Nice.
had to, because I think by law, I don't know if it's still the same thing now, because but I think by law,
Yeah.
by law, you had to have someone who was going to look after the kids, you know, like a childminder.
Yeah.
Because I was missing school, they would help me with my homework and
Sure.
all of that jazz,
Yeah.
you know. So stuff like that was still considered. They didn't disregard it completely.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
And when did you decide that, okay, this is what I want to do, mom and dad? Give it like TV.
I didn't decide. Hey, it kind of just happened. Everything just kind of happened so weird, and I also just went with the flow. And now it's 19 years later, and I'm still working. So it's just like, woo, it's a bit crazy. Like sometimes when I sit down and I think about it, it's been such an interesting ride because I did my first commercial when I was 7. Yeah, I was 7 when I did my first commercial, and I had just gotten into the agency, so I went to my first audition, and it was for a commercial, and I was like, whatever. And from there, it was just so much fun. I just really enjoyed how everybody got to dress up and put on the makeup and see the cameras and see how everybody works, you know. It was so interesting for me, and I think at that moment, I started to understand that it shouldn't just be a fun thing for me, but I should take it seriously because there is more that I can do, you know,
Yeah.
apart from just being in front of the screen. I could become a sound engineer. I could become lighting. I
Sure.
could become the DOP,
Yeah.
you know, behind the camera. So it kind of opened my mind up to a lot of things, you know, and I think that's why I took it seriously from that moment, because I knew that I wanted to be in the industry for a while. So I needed to have longevity. And the only way you can have longevity is by being professional and
Yeah.
making sure that you rise to the occasion all the time. Yeah.
Now, many people might not know, but you went to the National School of the Arts
Yeah.
for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And you did drama for the first year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you went to music.
Yes,
Let's
I did.
discuss that. Why?
I don't. Well, to be quite honest, I really wanted to do the whole drama thing because I wanted to get some experience with theater, and then I realized after the first year, I was like, not really for me. You know, I am an on-screen actor. I'm more of a film and television actress than I am theater. So let me rather do something else that could add to what I already have started, you know. And music was another way to just add on to what I can do. You know, sometimes you'll get booked for something and they'll be like, do you know how to play an instrument? And hey, what do you know? I do know how to play an instrument. So you're not going to spend money on getting a double to like pretend to be Dineo.
Yeah.
Dineo can do it herself,
Sure.
you know. So that as well became a plus for me. And I really just love music generally. I love music. I listen to music all the time. I
Yeah.
think there's deeper meaning to music, you know, in any
Sure.
kind of music. So it was just it was the sensible thing for me to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in terms of having formal education for
Mm-hmm.
like your acting or whatever, do you think it's important, or do you think you can wake up one day and be like, okay, I want to act, and I know experience because I was, you know,
Look,
doing
I
drama
think-
in primary school or something?
Yeah, no, right now it definitely is, you know. Right now I think I appreciate how much emphasis has been put on people having to go to school because
Yeah.
it is necessary. I got lucky to grow up in a time where I had older actors who would teach me most of what I know, you know. So I didn't find myself needing to go to acting coaches to teach me how to deal with emotional scenes or whatever, because I'd have my older actors who are on set who'd say, okay, listen, you're a kid, yes, but this is what we normally do to tap into such emotions and you know, and just being able to play around with different characters. I've learned a lot from the people that I've worked with. But yes, I do feel as though formal education is necessary because that also just, it makes you more aware of
Yeah,
what you're doing,
sure.
you know. And I think it is important to understand that as an actress or anybody in entertainment,
Yeah.
our job is to kind of lessen the load of whoever we're entertaining, you
Yeah.
know. So whoever's watching needs to kind of forget their lives for
Yeah.
2 minutes, or whoever's listening to that music needs
Yeah.
to kind of forget their lives for that 2 minutes. So it's important to do it as authentically as possible,
Yeah.
you know. So that formal education comes into play in that regard.
Yeah.
It makes you also more confident in what you're doing.
Sure.
You know, I, on the other hand, I'm just blessed.
Yeah.
I'm blessed. But yeah, I didn't end up doing more drama and music stuff after school, after
Yeah.
high school. I went to Wits and I did a politics and international relations degree because I just felt like I need to have two sides to a coin.
Yeah.
You know, yes, I love entertainment.
Yeah.
Do I see myself still acting at 50? I'm not sure, you know. I have other passions, and my passions were politics and international relations, and I
Yeah.
do want to see myself getting into that eventually. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, in terms of different characters that
Yeah.
you've played, how do you prepare for the different characters? Because you haven't played one character in your whole
Yeah,
career.
yeah.
How do you prepare for a character?
Yo, I watch a lot of stuff. I watch a lot of films. I watch a lot of series. And that helps a lot because, unfortunately, our industry right now in our country, yes, in as much as we're producing a lot of content and we're starting to see it growing at a very rapid pace,
Yeah.
we're still not on that level where the States are, you know. And the States has an advantage because it's not just one country, it's many, you know. So they've got a nice playing field, you know. So for me, I always just try and keep up with what's happening that side and see what people my age are doing that side, you know. I remember when I was growing up, I used to watch a lot of Dakota Fanning's work because
Yeah.
she was such a young actress, but she was
Yes.
so meticulous in her work.
Yeah.
And I would always ask myself, like, she's my age, how does she do it?
Yeah.
And through that I would learn more, you know.
Yeah.
And that also just helps me to prepare myself for whatever it is that I'm going to be doing moving forward. Just watching and also just trying to get more stories, whether it's from people directly, whether it's me just going to sit at a gym to watch how boxers box, then that's
Yeah.
what I'm gonna do, you know.
Yeah. That's what you had to do for Ring of
Yeah,
Lies.
that's what we actually did quite a bit of
Physical
Yo,
activities.
it was quite crazy. We had to go into the gym and literally train like boxers, because the producers also just felt as though there was no point in telling a story if it wasn't going to be true.
Real and
So
authentic,
yeah, if we can get it as real as possible, then let's do it. So
Yeah.
we're in the gym. I think we prepared for a good 6 to 8 weeks before we started shooting. With a trainer, we had a proper professional boxing trainer who was training us, and it was so much fun. I actually learned quite a lot, kept me in shape, but I had fun.
Out of all the characters that you played, because you played a lot,
Yeah.
which one has been your favorite, your ultimate like fave? And who
well-
do you relate to more? And who's like very different from you?
Look, I think the only, in my mind, how I see it as you get the job because you relate to the character, regardless of whether we're different or whatever, there's something in it that you can understand and you can see within yourself, and I think that's what's helped me as well, just to kind of play all of these characters and keep them not monotonous, nothing repetitive, but always kind of have you see my face but see me in a different light.
Sure.
But right now I think lockdown takes the cup. I just did lockdown season 3, so that was very interesting for me, because of the fact that the character I was playing is a student's fees must fall activist.
Yes.
And I was like, yes, great, this is a current affairs issue that's happening right now in our country. There are still students who are still in jail because of the movement.
Yeah.
And what are their plights, how
Yeah.
are they feeling? So it was so real for me, because I know people personally who
Yeah.
have been through the whole jail process and not being able to go back to school. So when I got the opportunity to jump onto lockdown, I was like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. And I feel as though I killed it.
You killed it.
I feel as though I killed it. So I'm
Yeah.
super
And
excited
you're
to
still
see.
killing it.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see when the season ends what everybody's thoughts are going to be on it, because it is one of those shows that try and tell stories as real as possible and
Sure.
very raw, there's no filter there. So I
Yeah.
think I really appreciated that, because I was working on shows that were very filtered because of the genre,
Yeah.
but because it's a hectic drama, there everyone gets to play,
Sure.
and you get to push the envelope as much as you can.
Yeah. Still tuned in with D. We're going to have to take a quick break, but when you come back, it's Film Chats with D.
Harnessing the power of talk radio. Brandlive.co.za.
Have you ever thought about the power of social media? Social media has the power to make your business grow. Grow! Yeah. Why don't you let us manage your social media? Because our business is to see your business grow. Visit us at www.bstownmedia.co.za.
You're still tuned in to Brand Live Radio Film Chats with D, and I'm still chilling with the beautiful lady Dinelle. Let's discuss the term child star
Yeah.
and what it meant to you to be called a child star for a long time. And also, okay, I'll ask you that now, but like, let's talk about the former child star.
Look, you know what? I understand the whole hype about it, and I call it hype because I always wanted to just be regarded as a working actress, and not a child or a adult or a teenager. I just wanted to be treated as a professional like my fellow professionals. So I do understand why the emphasis was put on that, because you must remember in South Africa, when I started acting, there weren't a lot of kids on television.
Yes.
So we kind of started a craze, if I could say, because before I did the movies and the generations, and I was on Yo TV, I was doing SABC Education, I did a lot of child shows, and like that crew, Yo TV, your CCs, your Cyphos, your Carlies, your Salais,
Yeah.
all of them. That was us, and all of us have grown respectively in different ways. Cypho's now behind the camera, he's now a commissioning editor. So it just kind of shows how, I get why they need to do that. They needed to box us into a category that could be, manageable. But I don't know. I think we need to do away with it, because the moment we start attaching certain names and labels to certain things, a person will feel like they can behave a certain way, And truth of the matter is, if I'm saying I want to be on a professional set, I need to be a professional. I need to forget the fact that I'm a kid. I might be playing a kid on the show, but that doesn't mean I need to behave like a child, So it's okay. I'm indifferent about it.
Yeah. Have you ever lost out on a character because of that label?
Look, I mean, I don't exactly look my age.
Yeah.
So I have lost quite a lot, but then in the same breath, I've also gotten quite a lot, you know. So it's for me, it's one of those. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. So I've never really taken it to heart. I go to auditions. I go to auditions for commercials, movies, whatever. If there's an audition and my agent says go, I go, you know, because I never feel as though I'm beyond it. I never feel as though I'm above any of it. I'm still learning, you know. Yeah, 15 years into it, 15 years plus into it, I'm still learning, you know. I don't feel like I know everything that I need to know about what I do.
Yeah.
You know,
still
so
lots to
yeah,
learn.
there's still lots to learn, you know, and I don't think anybody actually ever stops learning, you know.
Let's talk about being on set. Please describe to my listeners a day on set. How does it work from morning till you're done?
Yo, well, first of all, because we work different hours, you must remember film sets work 12-hour days. So you're literally going to be working for 12 hours straight. So we're not including your time to get to work. We're not including the time you're going to use to get to makeup and wardrobe and all of that. We're just talking about the hours that the camera is going to be rolling. So it is pretty intense, you know. And I always say that you need to know why you get into the industry. If you're getting into it to be famous and make money, you've got a problem. Because the reality of the matter is us actors actually don't make money, you know, and we're still fighting, you know. I mean, you remember that whole situation with the actors leaving Generations.
Yes.
The issues for me is though, I felt as though, things could have been handled differently, you know, but the issues were relevant. They were speaking about being recognized as working people, you know, and that's what we need in our country.
Yeah.
So because we don't have those things, there are certain things that kind of like fall to the waistline on set, you know, because producers and production companies understand that they can get away with certain things because no one's managing them, you know. So you need to be able to open yourself up to disappointment, to stress, to tiredness, to, oh my God, it's crazy. But yeah, it literally is crazy because we shoot locations. I haven't done studio work in a very long time, so I'm all over on locations, you know.
Yeah.
So we could travel for an hour to an hour 30 minutes going to work, and then when you get there, you still need to be fresh. You got to be ready and you got to be prepared because no one's going to feel for you.
Yeah.
You're going to have 16 scenes. You better know all your lines, you know, because time is money.
Yeah.
You know?
You became a mother.
Yeah.
A very cute little girl.
Yes.
Let's talk about your journey as a mother in the industry and how it's been. And do you still get characters because you're a mom, or like, does that play a factor?
Look, I'm lucky that I look freaking 16. And I say 16. Don't check me on that.
Yeah.
I look 16.
You are 16.
I'm
baby
looking.
girl.
Yes, honey. You never reveal your age. But yeah, I don't know. Look, for me, the whole being a mom thing, it was great, you know, but I also just realized after I became a mom that, oh my goodness, I need to work 10 times harder, you know, because now there's a whole human that I need to worry about, and worry about not just financially, but in all aspects, because my life is open to the public because of what I do, but hers isn't, you know. So balancing what I do and keeping her safe and sound is a priority for me, you know. I haven't lost out on any jobs because I'm a mom, I'd like to believe. I don't really look like a mom, still got a small waist, snatch sugar. Snatched away. So I haven't lost out on anything, you know. I'm still booking proper gigs. I'm still booking gigs that are relevant to my look and my age, you know. So it really didn't deter me. It just does get a bit difficult when people feel as though they need to say certain things or feel as though they need to have an opinion of your parenting or
And how you should do it.
how you should do it, you know, because at the end of the day, I'm still a person.
Yeah.
And yes, I might be working the way I'm working, but I'm still a person. I still want to go out with my girls and have fun from time to time.
Sure.
And just because I'm a mom, that doesn't mean I can't do that,
Yeah.
you know, and that doesn't mean it makes me a bad mom.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets a bit difficult, but I'm glad to kind of have the strong support system I have at home, where everyone's just like, you know what, sometimes you just need to shut out all the noise and do what you need to do and focus on that, you know, and let everything else that's out of your control go. Yeah.
And how do you manage to keep your private life private? Because you're not a very, you know, look what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
Every 5 seconds.
Yeah.
How are you able to do that?
It was a conscious decision. You know, I think sometimes when you say too much, not much happens. So I just kind of keep it together. Yeah, keep it together and just say nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
And talking about characters again,
Yeah.
which character do you think you'd love to play? A character that you've never played, that you'd love to get involved into?
A drug addict or a prostitute.
Why?
Because they're so different and they're so extreme, you know. I think because I look a certain way, people tend to put certain limitations on my craft, or at least what I can deliver. So the crazier the idea, the better for me,
Sure.
you know. And that's why
And
I
a
was
character that challenges you.
yes,
Something that you like.
that's
so
exactly
sick.
why I was so excited about lockdown, because it was so different. It
Yeah.
was a listen, let's get dirty and
Do it.
be grimy about it.
And you
I
don't even wear makeup on. Lockdown.
yes, and that
I
was
love that.
you know, like Mandla is so specific and particular about the way the show needs to look, you know, and because he's pushing such a real story, it's absolutely imperative that everybody looks as real as possible.
Sure.
And the truth of the matter is, we don't wake up looking snatched. We do not wake up with a whole
Especially got
brows
jelly.
on fleek.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we are normal people.
Yeah.
Sometimes nogumbasha, you know, sibe dry.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of the matter. You don't always look shiny, you
Sure.
know?
Yeah.
So yeah. I'm hoping one day someone will book me to play like a drug addict or a
I
prostitute.
hope so. If you're listening, please book to now.
Yo, give me a job.
Yeah. Before we just head out, I just want to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for young girls that want to be in the entertainment industry one day?
You need to know what it is exactly that you want to do so you don't get lost in it. I think it's very easy for people to get lost in this industry because of all of the noise.
Very
and I
easy.
call it noise because when I look at the social medias and the whatever, it's all just a big hoo-ha, you know? And you're right when you say, how do you keep your things private? Because
Yeah.
people are always just like, oh, this is what I'm doing for a shoot. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, babe, somebody's probably living in like a one bedroom. They don't know where the rent is coming
Yeah,
from.
sure.
And they all out there living pretentious lives. So it's important for you to know who you are and be as real to yourself as possible, and never compromise, you know. If someone's out here like, give me bums, I'll give you a job. No, you're not here for the sex.
Yeah.
You're here for the job. And if I'm not going to get it the right way, then I'm just not going to do it.
At all,
Period.
yeah.
So I think just stay real, stay true to yourself, and stay focused and keep it professional all the time. That's the only way people are going to
And be on
respect
time.
you. Yes, you always got to
In
be
this
on time.
industry, it's like
Oh my gosh, you know
cutthroat.
they take money from us when we're late.
Wow.
Like hectic monies. Like from 30 to 45 minutes they start deducting boom,
Deducting.
5%, 10%. So it's back, you know. And then people want to be prima donnas. There's no time for that. If you keep it real, keep your head down and you do what you got to do, you're
So
going to live.
discipline is key, basically.
Definitely. And I think that's why it's also important to go to school.
Yeah.
So you can understand how much goes into just making one day on a set work.
Yeah.
It's not just you, the actor. It's not just you coming to set, wearing the clothes, wearing the makeup, and delivering the
a
lines.
lot more.
It's a lot more than that.
Sure.
You know, it's a whole train of things that need to come together and work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you
My
for
very
having
first
me. Oh my gosh, I'm so
guest.
happy. You guys gave me such lekker goodies.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God.
Happy Women's Day.
Thank you. Happy Women's Day to everybody as well. Thank you so much for inviting me. I can't wait to come back.
It's been a pleasure. You should.
Yeah, we should come back and have more chats.
Well, there you have it. The very first show, signed, sealed, delivered. Catch me next week again at 2 o'clock on brandlive.co.za. See you. It's been real.